check, check, check. Yes. Thank you. Hey, everybody who's in the room, everybody who's in person and not virtual. We're looking at roughly 3 minutes before we go live on the air. We're asking everybody to silence any electronics that you have on you, any cell phones that you have on you. Please silence them now, and you'll hear more from me in a bit, and we'll get going here soon.
Welcome, and thank you for joining us virtually for the 2022 City of Albuquerque Inauguration Ceremony. The City of Albuquerque proudly welcomes your elected officials and their families. Timothy M. Keller, Mayor of Albuquerque, was elected and will be serving his second term in this position. Louie Sanchez, City Councilor-elect for District 1, was elected and will be serving his first term on the City Council. District 1 covers the central part of Albuquerque's west side. Klarissa J. Peña, City Councilor for District 3, was re-elected and will be serving her third term. District 3 covers the southwest quadrant of the city. Dan Lewis, City Councilor-elect for District 5, was elected and will be serving his third term. Councilor Lewis previously held the seat from 2009 to 2017. District 5 covers the northwest part of the city. Tammy Fieblecorn, City Councilor-elect for District 7, was elected and will be serving her first term on the City Council. District 7 covers the Midtown and Uptown area of the city. Renee Grout, City Councilor-elect for District 9, was elected and will be serving her first term on the City Council. District 9 covers the far southeast part of the city.
Happy New Year and happy Inauguration Day. I'm Hakeem Bellamy. I'll be your host for today's inaugurational proceedings. And I want to say to the people of Albuquerque, friends and family, thank you for tuning in today for the swearing in of the 31st Mayor, Timothy M. Keller, and members of the 25th City Council for the City of Albuquerque. I'll be guiding you through the evening. We're going to meet our council, our new council. We're going to say hello again to our mayor. So we look forward to an amazing program. I know you wish that you could be with us today. In fact, a few years ago, we were in this room all packed together, but a lot has happened since then. And sometimes we celebrate the city we love by making the hard choices to stay home and keep one another safe, and we are doing that here today. Although the pandemic has changed our plans to gather, it cannot dampen the hope and optimism we have for our city. So to begin our ceremony tonight, I'd like to introduce the Albuquerque Fire Rescue Honor Guard for the presentation of our colors. Now will you join me in welcoming Maria Macias and Eli Crowley from the Mayor's Youth Advisory Council to lead the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by Iris Cabell, a fifth grade student at Manzano Day School, who will follow singing our national anthem.
Okay. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, when the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glow, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
We would like to thank our Albuquerque Fire and Rescue Honor Guard for the presentation of our colors. And thank you, Iris, for that amazing rendition of our national anthem. And to our Mayor's Youth Advisory Council, Maria and Eli, for the Pledge of Allegiance. I'd now like to welcome up Bishop David Cooper to deliver the invocation.
Let us pray. Almighty God, you made us and sustained us with your love. Scripture tells us you created us in your image and thereby bestowed a great and guaranteed dignity on each and every human being. Help us to remember we are one Albuquerque, being vaccinated, being innovative, one Albuquerque. Help us to always work to honor and protect that dignity. Help us to be mindful of the poor and protect the weak. Help us to heal the racial divides. Help us to be the builders of prosperity and peace. Help us to reflect your light in the world by actions guided by truth, integrity, and service. Make us good stewards of time and money and freedom and all the other blessings we have received. And on this day, when our Mayor Keller, takes on the office of responsibility, this day of new opportunity, bless Mayor Keller and his family as he begins his times of service. Again, bless the members of our city council, their families, and all the men and women who serve our city along with them. Amen.
I'm really honored to be part of the ceremonies today. About approximately 4 years ago, at the advent of Mayor Keller's first term, he reached out to me to serve as Deputy Director for the Department of Arts and Culture, and I'm extremely proud of the work that our department and our city was able to do in those 4 years. But it's nothing to be proud, and it's really, to me, significant that the city would say that they want 4 more years of the same kind of leadership. So thankful to be part of this ceremony today with you all, and thank you for the time that Mayor Keller has asked me to serve in my capacity with the city when I'm not emceeing things like this. So here we are today for the leaders in our city to take their oath of office to be public servants for all Albuquerqueños. We will begin with the swearing in of our 31st mayor. Although Tim Keller will be the 31st mayor of Albuquerque, the 10th under our current form of city government, the recorded history of named leadership in Albuquerque spans 3 centuries and 3 countries, Spain, Mexico, and the United States. Over 80 individuals have held the highest office, starting in 1706 with military commander Captain Martin Hurtado, who was appointed by Spanish Governor Francisco Cuervo y Valdez to organize the original settlement of Albuquerque, and that's just since 1706. Since time immemorial, the Tewa cultures and indigenous Americans have built community in this valley. Over the past 314 years, Albuquerque's leadership has been represented in varied forms, including, but not limited to, alcaldes, jefe políticos, mayors, military commanders, aldermen, and city commissioners. In 1821, under Mexican government, Albuquerque held its first election, naming Antonio Ruiz
the first elected alcalde. In 1885, under United States government, Henry N. Hoffa became the first elected mayor. In this tradition, I now welcome City Clerk Ethan Watson to the stage. Clerk Watson will attest to the signing of the official city oath of the office for the city councilors and mayor. And now I'll also welcome Tim Keller, Mayor Tim Keller, who won re-election to a second term and is accompanied by his wife Elizabeth, his two children Maya and Jack, and his parents Mike and Jan Keller, and in-laws Marty and Sydney Kiston, and will be sworn in as the 31st Mayor of Albuquerque by the Honorable Justice C. Shannon Bacon, New Mexico Supreme Court.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Timothy M. Keller, do solemnly swear to uphold the Constitution and the laws of the United States of America and the Constitution and the laws of the state of New Mexico. I furthermore do solemnly swear that I will faithfully, impartially, and sincerely perform my duties as a public servant of the people of the City of Albuquerque to the best of my ability, so help me God.
Happy New Year, Albuquerque. Very special thanks to Clerk Watson, to Justice Bacon, to Hakeem for moderating all of this, and to the entire team that has worked behind the scenes to put this ceremony together and adapt it many, many times to make it possible today. So the new year has always been a time of looking back and looking forward for our family. As we look back this year on the immense challenges we've all faced together and the moments of joy that we have experienced and shared, we are so grateful for all of the many ways that the Albuquerque community has showed up for each other this year. Very special thanks are due to so many. To our healthcare workers, our first responders, our educators, our frontline service workers, and the entire City of Albuquerque staff who have adapted over and over and over again to serve our community in difficult times. Huge thanks as well to the families, the friends, and the neighbors that provide the love and support that make all of this work and all of the adaptations possible. As we enter this new year, we are so grateful for the opportunity to serve the city we love, our hometown, for 4 more years. We feel fortunate to be headed into the second term with a strong foundation, thanks to all of the hard work by city staff and community partners leading up to today. And we look forward to working side by side as we continue to build a safe, inclusive, innovative city that works for all. So with that, I will hand it over to my love and our mayor to talk about where we've been and where we're headed on this journey.
Well, Albuquerque, first and foremost, Happy New Year. I want to thank everyone who's with us today, and of course, congratulate our counselors who are starting their new terms and continuing, some of them for a second and even a third term. My family and friends who are joining us virtually or who are here today, thank you as well. I also want to especially thank the people of Albuquerque who are putting their trust in us to do right by this city. And we're joined here with my parents, my in-laws, and Maya and Jack. And of course, first and foremost, our First Lady, Liz Keller. Thank you so much. So for us, I want to first recognize a little bit about what was shared earlier. You know, when I first took the oath of office, it said that I was the 10th mayor of Albuquerque. And I thought to myself, how could that possibly be? And of course, as Hakeem mentioned, it turns out that's just in sort of the modern form of government from the 70s. We know, though, that this job, leading the city of Albuquerque, has been going on for a lot longer than that. And today, we are here at the start of a new year, the start of a new term, and we are embarking on a new leg of a journey that we have been traveling for 315 years. This journey has spanned centuries, and like the many who've lived on this land before us, who've put everything they had into making a better tomorrow for their children, that too is our mission. I know from time immemorial, the Native American communities that settled here in this valley, to the first Spanish alcaldes in 1706, and to the first elected mayor in 1885, through good times and bad times, there are many who have moved our city forward with the same pursuit that drives us here today. It is the pursuit of the promise of a special city, the promise of Albuquerque. And we know that our city can be a special place, a place where families find safety in every neighborhood, a place where there's opportunity for children to reach their potential, and where we can have pride and share in our accomplishments together. But we also know these are incredibly difficult times, and that promise, as hard as we try and reach it, often feels far away. The rise in violence and addiction and homelessness in cities all across America have deepened the ingrained challenges that we face right here at home, and some of the challenges that we face for generations. This is the terrain that we must master to pursue Albuquerque's promise. We cannot deceive ourselves that there are silver bullets or single answers that will solve these challenges. In fact, I think fundamental to my re-election was the fact that voters rejected shallow catchphrases, finger-pointing, because they wanted real solutions. That is what this term has to be about. These challenges are complex, and we know they can only be met through honest appraisal of the situation, through hard work, through a commitment to solve problems from all sides. And we know that when it comes to crime and homelessness and addiction, no one person can confront this alone, no matter what group of politicians are elected or standing here on the stage today. But it's this group, including myself, who have been entrusted with this leg of the next journey of Albuquerque. It's our job to advance as far as we can possibly go through this difficult terrain. It's a journey that we will eventually pass on, just as it was passed on to us. This is also why we are pushing forward so fiercely, not just in spite of our challenges, but because of them. From my own young family that we're raising here today to every family in the Duke City, we love Albuquerque, and we will not pass it down to our children with these challenges unmet. Now, over the past 4 years, we've broken through some long-standing barriers to lay a foundation for lasting change that we can build on going forward. Today, we have a police department that is far better equipped, far better trained, and better organized than in recent history. We've put $80 million in crime-fighting technology that's coming online this winter. We've put tens of millions into retention and recruitment. We started the Metro Crime Initiative to usher in a new focus to try and repair a broken criminal justice system, to try and close the revolving door, to hold offenders accountable, and to support programs that have shown that we can break the cycle of addiction and violence that has been hurting our community for so long. I also know that we've invested more into compassionate solutions for the unhoused than ever before in our city's history. It's doubling shelter capacity, it's constructing new housing, it's preparing to launch the new Gateway Center, our region's first 24/7 no-barrier shelter. This year, also, our Albuquerque Community Safety Department will be taking thousands of 911 calls out of the system to get people the help that they need and free up our officers and our EMTs to help fight crime and keep us safe. Also, within the next 5 years, our city government is going to be 100% renewable energy. We'll be one of the first 5 large American city governments to achieve this feat in America. We also know our city budget is sound. Our economy is growing. Cranes dot our skyline for the first time in a long time. And our population is finally growing. And this is all despite the pandemic. So although the road ahead is indeed difficult, we've established a foundation that we've never had before. A foundation that we here today can use to see through the progress that we need. Now today, with our councilors being sworn in, we may not always agree over the next 4 years. We know that. But we know we have a common destination. We know we're on a common journey to carry Albuquerque forward. And we know that we have to accept the responsibility that each of us has to find solutions. And as we venture ahead together, we can't allow ourselves to get trapped in the pitfalls that have wasted valuable time before. That means avoiding shallow answers or simply shifting responsibility, or simply saying we need accountability. Accountability alone is not an answer. What it's time for is real courage to problem solve. For those of us who've been here before, our returning councilors and our administration, we've carried this city through some of our darkest days, through COVID, through civil unrest, and we are battle-tested. For those who are just joining us, we need your help going forward. We want to hear the solutions that you might have to help us deal with our biggest issues. But we also know what our city needs from both of us. We need a mayor and a council that will problem solve together. Now it's time to move forward, to put the election behind us, to put the negativity and the talking points and the partisanship behind us. It's time to govern. Now here's the thing about governing. It takes a commitment to real results, to real progress, and that takes some really hard work. And that is what is in store for us in the future. On our journey for the promise of the Duke City, we don't have the luxury of shortcuts. We don't have the time to talk about the problem. We know crime is a problem. We know homelessness and addiction are driving challenges in our community. Now is the time when we must roll up our sleeves and tame the tough road ahead together. So at the dawn of 2022, we're ready for this journey. And I believe our state and our county partners will rise up to this responsibility with us and build on these efforts. So if we're prepared to double down on this foundation and to resist the infighting that has often held us back, then when it's time to hand the reins over for this journey to the next generation, I know that they will start far closer to the promise of Albuquerque than any have before. And with that, I'm so excited for the next 4 years with you, Albuquerque. I want to thank you. I want to wish you all a Happy New Year, and may God bless Albuquerque. Thank you so much.
Big thanks to the mayor and first lady. Just appreciate mayor's visionary leadership, being able to work, as part of city government, and the idea that we are not, no one is pandemic proof,
but we are pandemic resilient. So thank you for that, Mayor. I want to also echo the First Lady's comments about the accommodations that have been made today. We want to thank our One Albuquerque media folks. That's how you're looking at me on your TV screen or your phone or wherever you're looking at this at. And then also the Mayor's comms team, communications team, for being able to pivot so quickly, right, as we deal with the Omicron variant. And something that you might not be able to see that I just have to say as a Deputy Director for the Department of Arts and Culture is that our biopark pitched in today. So to the families of the councilors and to our civic leaders, our judges, and our faith leaders that are in the room, these poinsettias are actually from the atrium at our biopark. So we want to thank them. Shout out to the biopark for pitching in today. Now I get the esteemed pleasure of welcoming to this inaugural celebration our 5th Albuquerque Poet Laureate. The Albuquerque Poet Laureate program celebrates poetry by recognizing a resident poet who makes meaningful connections, honors and serves our diverse community, and elevates the importance of the art form across our city and shares poetry with Albuquerque residents. A dear friend of mine, will you join me in welcoming Mary Oishi to the stage to share a poem with us today?
Thank you, Hakeem. And congratulations to Mayor Keller and to all of the incoming city council members. Happy New Year. This poem is called Because Holidays. Because the sun sinks too early in winter. Because the light disappears from your eyes. Because this year it's brown and bare branches. Because snow glare is so worth the shielding, because spring melts to rivers to quench us, because there are seasons we won't ever see, because we grow fixed, we go frozen, because we need this day, because there is no forever, because change, because light comes around, because light follows darkness, because holidays, because holy days, because hope. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary, for that beautiful piece. And we also want to thank our partners here at the Convention Center who are hosting us today. Now for our council swearing in. For those who are following along at home and hopefully have been following since before the first Tuesday in November, there are 5 council seats up, and they are the odd number seats. The City Council is the legislative authority of the city. It has the power to adopt all ordinances, resolutions, or other legislation conducive to the welfare of the people of the city. This council is made up of 9 members elected on staggered terms, with 4 or 5 districted councilors elected every 2 years. This year, we're pleased to swear in 5 members to our city council. Councilor Louie Sanchez is newly elected to District 1, which covers the central part of Albuquerque's west side. Councilor Sanchez is accompanied today by his mother and father, his brother and sister, and their spouses, Brandon McEachin and Deidre Padilla, and will be sworn in by the Honorable Chief Judge Stan Whitaker, 2nd Judicial District Court. Join me in welcoming them to the stage.
Repeat after me. I, Louie Sanchez,
I, Louie Sanchez,
do solemnly swear
to
uphold the Constitution and laws of the United States of America
uphold the Constitution and laws of the United States of America
and the Constitution and the laws of the State of New Mexico,
and the Constitution and the laws of the State of New Mexico.
I furthermore do solemnly swear
I furthermore do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully,
impartially,
and sincerely
and sincerely
perform my duties as a public servant of the people of the City of Albuquerque, New Mexico, New Mexico, to the best of my ability, so help me God. Congratulations.
Thank you. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I first want to start out by thanking my girlfriend, best friend, and partner, Deidre, who has been by my side from the first day that I decided to start this campaign. I want to thank my parents for their support in everything I have done in my life, including backing me when I entered the police department in 1989. They also supported me as I purchased and built my all-state agency in 2015 after retiring from the Albuquerque Police Department. There are so many people who are responsible for me standing here today. If I took the time to name each one, we would be here for hours. Please let me name a few. My friend Dorothy, who convinced me to run and was there with me every single day, helping me out with the campaign. My mom was amazing and truly my biggest supporters. My family and friends, and that continually helped me knock on doors, place signs, and introduce me to people they knew. Today, as I stand here representing District 1 as a newly sworn-in councilman, I cannot help but feel completely humbled. Humbled for the trust and belief that my neighbors have in my ability to make a difference in our community. Grateful in their willingness to share what is important to them in our district. I take great pride that I was born, raised, educated, worked in District 1 my entire life, and I am committed to tackling the issues facing our district and our great city. My focus has not changed. Reinforcing and rebuilding our police department will be my #1 priority every day when I get out of bed. Watching crime run rampant and the officers' numbers dwindling shows our city is truly in crisis. I stepped up to try to make a difference. I have lived in the officers' shoes, and I know the danger they face every day and know the support that they need to do their job correctly and with integrity. I will continually work on finding solutions for the large amount of homelessness in Albuquerque, weeding out the bad actors and getting services to those who need them most. It's been my goal to live every day with a spirit of excellence. I believe we communicate through words, actions, and our spirit. A good spirit will sustain friendships, working relationships, community involvement, marriages, and help you overcome obstacles and even defeat sickness. I will use my spirit of excellence working with Mayor Keller and my fellow councilors to find common ground and attack the issues that are plaguing our city. It is my promise to the people of my district that I will be available to you, that I will listen to you, I will work to find solutions, making our community safe and thriving. Each day I will begin my day praying that God gives me the wisdom to serve our wonderful community. I would like to ask for your prayers and your support as we work towards a better Albuquerque. I'm fortunate to have called the late Ken Sanchez my friend. Today marks the 2nd anniversary of his passing. He will truly be missed by all of us. I was honored to have many conversations with him concerning this community, and I will fall back on those conversations as motivation to continue his amazing work. I plan on continuing to represent this district as he did, as a voice of reason. I'd like to thank, again, all the citizens of Albuquerque who have actually put me in this position. So thank you again, and have a great new year.
The thing with the mask and the glasses, oh man, we're gonna be doing that for a while, huh? I wanna thank Councilor Louie Sanchez and really thank him for also invoking, right, Councilor Ken Sanchez on the 2nd year of anniversary of his passing. I would now like to welcome to the stage, I will pause and say what's really cool about this being here today, even though I feel like I'm rubbing it in for you who all can't be here today, is to see the councilors with their families. Like, that really is a special part. I'm fortunate to know the mayor and his family, so I get to see them often, but I don't always get to see the councilors and their families, and it's really a magical thing. It just reminds you of all the people that they represent when they're sworn into office. So thankful for that opportunity. And representing District 3, again, is Councilor Klarissa Peña, beginning her 3rd term as the council for District 3, which covers the southwest quadrant of the city. Councilor Peña is joined by her husband, Johnny, her mother, her 6 children, their spouses, and her grandchildren, and will be sworn in by the Honorable Justice Brianna H. Zamora, New Mexico Supreme Court.
Right here, she's right there, babe. Mommy's right there. Banana? It's gonna be a while. So come on, James. James. Okay. Thank you. You want to hold the book here on this side? Yeah. Come on, little lady. Okay.
You'll raise your right hand.
Okay. Yeah.
I, Klarissa J. Peña,
I, Klarissa J. Peña,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
to uphold the Constitution
to uphold the Constitution
and the laws of the United States of
and
America
the laws of the United States of America
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
and the laws of the State of New Mexico.
and the laws of the State of New Mexico.
I furthermore
I furthermore
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and sincerely
and sincerely
perform my duties
as
a public servant
of the people of the City of Albuquerque,
New Mexico,
New Mexico,
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. And these are the no good ones? Okay, okay.
Thank you. Are we removing our masks for this? Okay. They always get stuck on my hoop earring. Where's my baby? Want me to stand over here with Nana? Okay, here we go. Come on. You want to get up here? Help me read this? Yeah? Okay. Let's do this together. Well, thank you, Honorable Judge Zamora. I appreciate you taking the time away from your family to be here today with me and mine, so thank you very much. I want to start by thanking my entire family. You have always been with me and my inspiration. Thank you for your encouragement, your selflessness that has allowed me to take time away from you to serve our community. You are my heart and soul, and I hope to always do the right thing by you and to make you proud. My mom, the strongest woman I know. Where's the little lady at? Where is she? And to Johnny, my husband, for putting up with me. I'm quite a handful. You are a man to be admired. You are the glue that keeps our family together and who keeps us fed. Thanks to the team, Johnny, Renee, Nancy, Vivian, Annalicia, Sean, my dear friends. I can't list them all here today. You know who you are. My children, my grandkids, and of course, again, Johnny. Of course, to everyone who helped me get on the ballot, to the numerous names that I cannot name, but I am truly grateful. Thanks to everyone who signed my petition, and a special recognition to the people who contributed $5. It was a humbling experience when I walked away with a handful of nickels and dimes. The two young men who threw your names in the hat, my hat's off to you. Continue to be involved in the community. There's lots of work to be done. I want to wish all the best to all of our city councilors who are leaving the council, especially Cynthia Borrego, Lan Sena, Don Harris. Your service to the community helped pass legislation that's important to our city. I feel honored and privileged to have served alongside you. You want to hold that, babe? During the last 2 years, we've seen unprecedented times and are still amid the pandemic. And with the loss of so many of our dear friends and family, including my sister-in-law, who is not much older than me, in such a terrible way. Plus the inability not to be able to be by her side during her most difficult time worsens the loss felt by my husband and my family. This same situation is being felt by families throughout our country and the world. Compounded by the burden of the political climate, the rising crime, lack of confidence in our law enforcement, homelessness, addiction, and as a country, we have all been tested to our limits. Like the struggles this country and our city has faced, we still remain resilient. That pandemic has unveiled so many injustices, and as we come out of the pandemic and recover from the immense loss of life, we must work collectively to address the underlying issues in our community that are eroding at our beloved city. With initiatives like establishing the Office of Equity and Inclusion, Community Policing, the Gateway Center, Language Accessibility, Public Safety Department, speeding cameras, mental health awareness, speeding awareness, zero fares, Southwest Public Safety Center, Westgate Community Centers, Senior Respite Centers, South Senior Services Analysis, Social Service Gaps Analysis, equity criterion to be used when developing the city's capital plan, and the city is establishing HR policies to be better poised to hiring people with disabilities in our community. We have been continuing to work diligently on these and many more initiatives with council staff, the mayor, his administration, and with the councilors who are leaving, and I look forward to to continuing this work with the councilors who are sworn in here today. In the words of my friend Ken, I truly believe we will come together and come out stronger than before. By providing opportunities for our community, we will provide an opportunity to make our city better. Thank you. Thank you.
I would also like to join Councilor Peña in thanking the outgoing councilors for their service to our city as well. Next, I would like to bring up again Councilor Dan Lewis, who was elected as City Councilor for District 5 from 2009 through 2017, which covers the northwest part of the city. Councilor Lewis is joined by his wife, Tracy, his parents, his 2 children, their spouses, and his grandchild, and his sister-in-law, nephews, and niece, and will be sworn into office by the Honorable Judge Neil C. Candelaria, retired. Please join me in welcoming Councilor Lewis to the stage.
You'd raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Dan Lewis, do solemnly swear.
I, Dan Lewis, do solemnly swear.
To uphold the Constitution and the laws of the United States of America.
To uphold the Constitution and the laws of the United States of America.
And the Constitution and laws of the State of New Mexico.
And the Constitution and laws of the State of New Mexico.
I furthermore do solemnly swear.
I furthermore do solemnly swear.
That I will faithfully, impartially, and sincerely.
That I will faithfully, impartially, and sincerely
perform my duties as a public servant.
Perform my duties as a public servant.
Of the people of the City of Albuquerque.
Of the people of the City of Albuquerque.
New Mexico.
New Mexico.
To the best of my ability.
To the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you to Bishop Cooper for your prayers today. Thank you to the Judge Neil Candelaria. This is the 3rd time that he's sworn me in. On the first time, my kids, I was thinking my kids were, my daughter Madison is here with us, and that was 13 years ago, and she was 12 years old. And when the judge said, raise your right hand and repeat after me, she raised her right hand as well and started to repeat after. So she served a good term, the 4 years of that she served with me, the first 4 years. So this is the 3rd time, and thank you again to Judge Candelaria. I want to congratulate Mayor Keller on his reelection, and then the city councilors, Councilor Peña on her reelection. I'm looking forward to serving with Councilor Peña again. I want to congratulate Councilor Louie Sanchez on his first term here, and looking forward to serving with Louie in a common area on the west side that we represent. And then Renee Grout, Councilor Grout, and Councilor Fieblecorn for their elections. I want to congratulate them. And also I'd like to thank Cynthia Borrego, the councilor who served in District 5 over the last 4 years. And I will work hard and always recognize the many contributions and the projects that she has championed over the last 4 years. And so thank you to Cynthia Borrego and to her service. And I want to thank my family, many of them that are here with me today. My wife, Tracy. Tracy is a third grade teacher at 7 Bar Elementary School on the west side, and she's taught there for almost 25 years. And she was obviously just an incredible support, and so thankful for Tracy. And she's played a big role in my election, too. I think many people probably would have preferred her to run for city council, but just so thankful for Tracy and her support. My parents are here, Paul and Ann Lewis, who live here in New Mexico and from New Mexico, and very thankful for them. And then my daughter, I mentioned my daughter earlier, Madison, and her husband, Ryan, and their son, Asher, my little grandson. So we're very, very proud of him. And then I also want to introduce my son, Jensen, and his wife, Jessica, who are here from Montana. So very thankful for them. And one of our nephews that's here today, too, Cody, and his wife, Raina. So thankful for them. And thankful for all of the Lewis family and all the support and that they've given me in so many ways. My parents raised 4 sons. I'm the youngest of 4, and we put them through some pain growing up. But I remember my dad has always taught us to serve. And one of the quotes that I think I remember from him saying that I remember more than anything when I was growing up and as a teenager, and often kind of selfish as teenagers and thinking of ourselves. And one time my dad said, "Dan, if all you do is think about yourself, you'll live a miserable life." So he said to go serve somebody, to make someone else's life better. He said, God put you here to be different and to make a difference and to be a blessing. And those words have guided me, and I think about the last 25 years in Albuquerque, and where we started a church, a great church of servant-hearted people, and we led that church for 16 years here in our city. We started several companies in Albuquerque that continue to thrive today with products that serve people and meet people's needs in our city. I ran for public office, starting years ago, and because we all want a better place for our, we want things to be better for our families, and then we look around our neighbors and our community and certainly our city. We want them to have a better quality of life. And I think about how public officials, and oftentimes the downfall of public officials is when they think they're a little more important than they really are. And they forget that this job is about getting up every day and listening and answering phone calls and helping people. And over the last year, we knocked on thousands of doors and listened. And I hope that the reputation over the next 4 years of my office would be that you can always get a hold of us, and we're always going to listen, and we're always looking to help in every possible way that we can. I'm setting out to serve with some guiding principles, and so I want to mention just a few of those. And first of all, it's just to put others first, to authentically serve the 6,000 city employees and constituents in our city, the businesses, the job creators, and to serve, of course, the marginalized of our city. And I hope to do that very well. Another guiding principle is to serve with humility, and the fact that I don't know everything, but I want to learn from everyone and continue to grow and learn. The principle of high expectations, to fight for the highest possible good in others, to be solution-oriented. It's important that we solve problems together, and we're looking for solutions to the problems that we face as a city. And then the principle of excellence, and I want to be continually improving in everything that I do. Our city in District 5 have many needs. In District 5 on the west side, we have infrastructure needs and widening Paseo and widening Unser and the northwest bypass loop like Paseo del Volcan infrastructure to create more roadways and access and transit for the people that live on the west side. We have a great need for more jobs on the west side of Albuquerque. There's a big imbalance with those who live on the west side and work downtown and other parts of the city. And so it's going to take working hard for zoning, for major activity centers and job centers. And working to make sure we're bringing good, high-paying jobs to our district, and we're going to work hard on that in the coming years. And better quality of life. And so I think of projects like the next multi-generational center, the next library, the next pool that'll be built in District 5 on the west side of the city of Albuquerque. And I believe that these next 4 years that we'll see thousands of new jobs in our city, and many of them on the west side and in District 5, and new businesses that are going to thrive, and new businesses that'll do what they do best, and that is create jobs. You know, we need public servants that run for public office. And when I think about the framers of our Constitution and in their writings, they talked about this America being an experiment. And when they wrote the Constitution in their minds, in many ways, it was an experiment, and they were hoping that it would work. And many of the things that they wrote about, they said that it'll only work if people of faith and people of integrity, get elected, people who believe in freedom. They mentioned people who believe in private property rights and limited role of government. If those people would run for public office, maybe this would work. And I hope that our legacy here in Albuquerque would prove again that democracy does work, and that our city can be a shining example of good government, of limited government, where the people of this city thrive. And I know that's the desire of others that are on the stage, my colleagues and those that are newly elected to this council and other councilors and our administration. And I'm proud to serve with these great servants. And thank you again. Thank you so much for your support, and may God bless you. May God bless this great city. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councilor Lewis, and congratulations to you. Yes, sir. Next, I would like to welcome up Councilor Tammy Fieblecorn, newly elected to District 7. District 7 covers the midtown and uptown areas of our city. Councilor Tammy Fieblecorn is accompanied by Paul Roybal, and the oath of office will be administered by the Honorable Judge Mary Rudd, retired.
Do solemnly swear to uphold the Constitution and the law of the United States of America, and the Constitution and the laws of the state of New Mexico. I furthermore do solemnly swear that I will faithfully, impartially, and sincerely perform my duties as a public servant of the people of the City of Albuquerque, New Mexico, to the best of my ability. And this I do under the pains and penalties of perjury. Thank you, everyone. I am so honored to serve the District 7 residents. I love Albuquerque. I moved here about 20 years ago, and I was going to be here for 6 months, maybe a year. 20 years later, I'm still here. It is the best place to live in the United States of America, and I'm proud to be a city councilor. I started my campaign trying to figure out what was important to me and what was important to the folks in District 7, and there's unanimous support for the 4 or 5 priorities that I've developed. They are fighting climate change. Climate change is the existential threat that we are all facing, and we must take bold action now. We have to reduce the amount of violence in our society. We have to work on COVID recovery, and we have to provide services for homeless people. And lastly, but not least, we have to improve the lives and well-being of animals within District 7 and within the City of Albuquerque. And I heard that from every single person I talked to during my campaign. So I'm ready to work. I'm a really hard worker and I'm really stubborn. And I want the District 7 residents to know that I will work as hard as I possibly can and fight for you every single day that I serve you. I'd like to really quickly thank Paul Roybal, my partner, who has been really very supportive during this entire process. You know, it's a lot of work for a partner to be involved in a campaign, and I remember asking him if it was something that he could deal with, and his answer was, well, do I have to cut my dreadlocks? And I said, no, and he said, okay, I'm in, and he has been in every single day of this campaign, and I really, really appreciate it. I also want to thank Judge Rudd for being here today and doing this oath for me. She is a neighbor and a friend and a supporter, and it means a lot to me that she was able to administer my oath for me. Lastly, I want to thank everyone that worked on my campaign. I have a new chosen family from this campaign, folks that I met during the last year that are amazing, wonderful people that really want to make Albuquerque better. And they've spent so much time and energy on the campaign to help me do that. And I really appreciate you all. So I'm going to stop talking. I want to get to work. It's time to get to work for the residents of District 7 and for everyone in Albuquerque. And I'm really looking forward to it. Thank you again for electing me as your city councilor.
Thank you and congratulations, Councilor Fieblecorn. And now it's my pleasure to welcome up Councilor Renee Grout, our newly elected councilor for District 7, which covers the far southeast part of our city. Councilor Grout is accompanied by her husband, her 2 married children, 7 grandchildren, 3 of which are new babies, and Z and Steve Homoki, and will be sworn in to office, again, by the Honorable Judge Neil C. Candelaria, retired.
You'd raise your right hand for me, please, and repeat after me. I, Renee Grout, do solemnly swear
I, Renee Grout, do solemnly swear
to uphold the Constitution and the laws of the United States of America,
to uphold the laws of the Constitution
and the laws of the United States of America,
to uphold the Constitution
and the laws
of
the United States of America,
the United States of America,
and the Constitution and the laws
and the Constitution and the laws
of the State of New Mexico.
of the State of New Mexico.
I furthermore do solemnly swear
I furthermore do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully, impartially, and sincerely
that I will faithfully, impartially, and sincerely
perform my duties as a public servant
perform my duties as a public servant
of the people of the City of Albuquerque, New Mexico,
of the people of the City of Albuquerque, New Mexico,
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Mayor Keller, fellow councilors, and honored guests, I never in my wildest dreams thought I'd ever be in this position. But when I saw the need for common sense leadership in the city that I love, here I am. I am so grateful, but mostly humbled by the responsibility I now have in representing the constituents in District 9 and the citizens of Albuquerque. Thank you for the trust you've placed in me. When my husband Jim and I began thinking about this seat, we talked about how we could make it work. We knew I couldn't do it on my own and began to pray. God always provides. He provided us with the very best volunteers. We had a small army that faithfully block walked for 7 months. There were many, including Mary Jane Hicks and her husband Larry Scher, Karen Espinosa, Robert Salazar, Everett Farr, and Nadine Edelman, just to name a few. We also had the very best yard sign patrol around. Jim Mercer was a gift from heaven. He, along with Kathy and J.R. McDaniels, made sure that as requests came in, signs were in place in no time. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I also need to thank my think tank. These are fellow neighbors and friends from around District 9 that worked behind the scenes and gave me advice. You know who you are. I am grateful for the many elected officials and candidates that supported this campaign, including Representative Stephanie Lord and Michelle Garcia Holmes. These two women, along with many others, have shown me the true meaning of public service. Many thanks to the RNC, the RPNM, RPBC, Republican National Hispanic Assembly of New Mexico, and Federation of Republican Women for coming together to help make us successful. Thank you to the many that supported our campaign financially. Because of your generosity, we were able to get our message into the voters' hands. I must thank my campaign strategist and manager. Jay, you are brilliant. You told me to trust you, remain focused, walk and knock on doors, and we would be successful. Megan, you kept me calm, on schedule, on task, and made sure I was okay. You are tiny and mighty, you're bright, your future is bright. And of course, I need to give thanks to my husband, Jim, my children, Jimmy, Jordan, Taylor, their spouses, and my 7 grandchildren, Daniel, Ella, Faith, Michaela, Rachel, Madison, and Emma. I'm so thankful for all of your support. Thank you for allowing me to do this. Thank you for your encouragement, your sound advice, your financial support, and love. I hope I make you proud. I must give the biggest thanks to the voters, the constituents in District 9. Thank you for believing in me and your support. With every decision I make, I will first be thinking of you. I look forward to getting to know you and working with the neighborhood associations in the district. Public safety and infrastructure are the responsibility of city government. Public safety needs to be Albuquerque's top priority. With record homicides for the year, it's safe to say crime is out of control. Criminals feel emboldened when they know APD hands are tied, and they are tied. APD needs to be able to do their jobs and enforce all the laws. It's time we give our law enforcement officers the support they deserve so we can retain and hire the very best. We need to eliminate the sanctuary city policy. We need to renegotiate the CASA agreement, or better yet, make it a priority to get the DOJ to leave. This never-ending agreement needs to end. Reducing crime goes hand in hand with the criminal justice system. We need to end catch and release for violent offenders. I look forward to working with our state representatives to change current laws that are contributing to the crime problems in this city. We must work to get the homeless off the streets and into permanent housing. I believe every homeless person is someone's child and should be treated with compassion. While people are homeless for many reasons, we are doing them no favors by allowing them to live this way. It's contributing to the crime, vandalism, and trash in the city and making it less safe for all of us. It's time we get serious about this, work together with the city, state, and federal agencies, as well as nonprofit agencies, and help these folks. Once we understand current processes and address the complexities of the homeless, we can develop and implement a strong plan that will meet the needs of many. Law-abiding, tax-paying citizens have rights too. It's time we stand up for those of us who follow the law, pay taxes, and contribute to our society. I look forward to bringing my business experience to the city, ask the tough questions, and spend the taxpayer dollars, your money, more efficiently, holding people accountable by effectively monitoring and auditing outcomes. Our hard-earned money needs to be used wisely. We will raise the quality of life for Albuquerque residents when we get tough on these issues. We all deserve safe neighborhoods, parks, walking trails, and open spaces. We will see businesses return to our city when we make it a thriving, beautiful, and safe place for families to live and work. I love Albuquerque, and I'm committed to making it a better place for us, our children, and our grandchildren. Thanks.
Thank you, Councilor Grout, and congratulations to you and your family. And because leadership doesn't happen in a vacuum, we're going to have another faith leader come up and lead us in our closing prayer. So I want to thank all the councilors for being here today on the holiday, proving that they want to get to work as soon as possible. And thank you for your families, too, for also enduring with us today. Thank you to our City Clerk, Ethan Watson, as he leads the stage. Thank you, Ethan, so much. And to all of our officials, our judges, retired and active, who were in attendance today. We thank you for being here with us today. Now I will have, or I'd like to welcome, and please join me in welcoming Imam Mahmoud El-Dinawi to share a closing prayer.
Oh God Almighty, thank you for the new year. Thank you for so many blessings you showered us with. Thank you for health, for safety, for many things. We are grateful to you, and we are grateful to everything you gave to us. We ask you this time to bless our community, to bless this land, to make it safe, to make Albuquerque safe, to make New Mexico safe, to make all America safe, to give the power to our beloved Mayor, Tim Keller, for he can do the things in the right way. Give him the light so he can see the good things to do, and give him the light to see the bad things he can avoid. Give him and his team all support. Give them all the support to work for the benefit of our society and for the benefit of our city, and keep this city protected and safe. Amen.
Thank you for that prayer, Imam. And I want to thank you, Albuquerque, for joining us for the 2022 inauguration. We're looking forward to the next 2 years of city leadership, and your city leaders look forward to serving you and working to make a better Albuquerque. Have a good night and stay safe. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us for the 2022 inauguration ceremony. This production was brought to you by One Albuquerque Media, your source to your local government.